Let's get to some of your voicemails. The voicemail line has been blowing up. I apologize that we're so behind on playing these voicemails. You can leave your voicemail at 219-2-DAVID-P, 24 hours a day. Call us anytime. Here is one voicemail on the topic of the George Zimmerman Trayvon Martin trial, which I haven't gotten to yet.
David, it's Skeptical Zach. As regards to the Trayvon Martin thing and George Zimmerman probably getting off, I actually think, according to the evidence that we've seen so far, he will get off. But let me tell you why I think it's a bad thing. It seems to me that all I have to do in one of these states has a right to carry or a right to defend yourself law is to provoke a fight with somebody, let them beat me up a little bit, and then pull out my gun and shoot them. Now, as somebody who, I would say I'm not a criminal, but as somebody who is thinking like a criminal here, that could be an easy way to kill somebody and get away with it completely. Thanks. Bye.
Yeah, this brings up a good point, and we saw this with the other stand your ground case that didn't actually work, where the woman actually was being chased by her husband and shot into the air, kind of like a warning shot, and that actually was being treated more seriously. She was black, by the way, than, at least initially, the George Zimmerman situation was. It does seem that, number one, you are better off to push stand your ground if you actually do shoot and or kill the person, number one. And number two, yeah, it does open up the door for provoking a confrontation and then making it kind of like you're retaliating to it. It's really concerning.
Which is exactly what I think Zimmerman did. Provoke a fight, then kill the person. And when there are no witnesses and no one heard any of the words exchanged, how can you prove otherwise?
We'll see how it continues. Here is another question, very astute question about Lewis, a question for me. Let's take a listen.
Hello, it's Andrew from New York again, and I have a question for David. What would you do if you found out that Lewis was actually a robot? I want to hear your thoughts on this. Thanks, keep up with the show, and feel free to play this on the air. Thanks.
Okay. Well, listen, if I found out Lewis was a robot, it really wouldn't change anything. I would keep him on staff. I think I would just argue that why is Lewis getting paid if he is a robot? Maybe whoever built Lewis should be the one getting paid. I really don't know. But to be honest, if Lewis was a robot, that would be fine. I just think we would probably, for example, when we go to Netroots, instead of getting Lewis, the king bed, we would probably just assume he could be shut off and maybe put in a closet. It would save the show a ton of money if Lewis actually ended up being a robot.
Yeah, I mean, I might have maintenance fees. Would you be in favor of me marrying?
No, because that would destroy the sanctity of marriage.
Okay.
Robots should not be able to marry.
All right.
I don't know. Kind of an odd question. What do you think, Natan, about this?
About the question that the viewer asked, or about what Lewis just asked?
Yeah, no, about the question from the viewer.
I mean, it seems difficult for me to believe that Lewis is a robot, given just how many beverages he drinks. Granted, I haven't seen him eat anything. Maybe robots, I don't know. Maybe they don't eat, but they drink. I mean, who knows?
Well, maybe it's an advanced robot that instead of motor oil actually takes
coconut water,
peat moss extract, and aloe bits.
Kombucha.
And kombucha, yeah. Who knows? All right, emails. On the topic of the peace activist who doesn't want to rent to the war veteran. The property owner should have the right to say who can or can't rent their home. The vet should accept that and move along. Well, depends on what the law states about that. And I don't think I would rent to a veteran. 1 million civilians have died due to the Iraq War, and I don't know if I would want to rent to someone involved in killing children. Well, we don't know that that's actually what this particular veteran did.
Right.
That would be a little bit discriminatory. On Miss Ohio saying pretty woman is a positive portrayal of women, be all that you can be, a pretty prostitute. And money will buy anything. She did finish on top. And she did magnificent. There's nothing wrong with being a prostitute or hooker, as they prefer to be called. It's just a job as any other that can be done well or badly. And on the cannibal impersonator, this story is a classic example of why every American should not own a gun. You could panic and shoot someone who's completely innocent. And perhaps people shouldn't be so stupid as to appear to be physically assaulting someone. That solves the problem altogether. As funny as it was, you have to assume tensions are running a little bit high in Florida, what with the cannibalism incident and the guy getting his face 70 or 80% eaten off. Maybe it's not that smart. I find it hilarious, but...
And with the amount of gun ownership, very bad idea. Stand your ground law? Come on.
The show doesn't stop now. There is a bonus show hosted by producer Louis Motamedi. Go to davidpakman.com/netroots to get the Netroots Nation membership special. We'll talk to you tomorrow from Providence, Rhode Island at Netroots. See you then.
The David Pakman Show at davidpakman.com.